Hello everybody, and in today's video I'll be giving you a walkthrough of our approximate rough morning routine, because like everything here, nothing's set in stone and it varies day to day depending on who's stabled at the night, who's out, and who's doing what really. So it also depends as well if we have someone in stable stage, which we don't today, but ordinarily if we did it would be Hoytzy, who is behind me here. So I've just given him his breakfast and removed the pony for now, and you'll find out if you continue watching. But like I've just said, nothing's set in stone, and at the moment our routine's a bit different because we've got Miss Mabel on box rest, Phoebes has got a potential abscess so he's in as well, and because it was frosty tonight, Anya is out in the fields behind me over there somewhere, when ordinarily she'd be in due to her sensitive skin, but because it's frozen and the ground's it effectively dries the ground out temporarily because it's all frozen and it goes harder, she can go out without us having to worry about her skin, but she'll probably come back in today and have her legs washed. And we also depend on, you know, which one of the older ones are in, because sometimes if Hoytzy is a bit tired or Hida or Ren's a bit tired, we'll bring them in for sleep, but they're all okay at the moment, so they're still out. It's very much just day by day, seeing who needs what, who's tired, who's happy, and ensuring that they stay energized and happy little people. So we will begin. Sorry JB's really not very happy about the fact that he is not allowed to share Hoyt's food, but it's for his own benefit, I can assure you. So first things first, we get in and the albino is in the middle of the barn. Hello friend. There's Phoebes. And there's Miss Mabel. And the first thing we do every morning is of course give the horses their breakfast. So I'm gonna walk around here and get those out. Oh, Mabel! Mabel says she's very, very hungry. And sometimes it's me that feeds, other times it's Tracy. It just depends on the day and what's going on. So I get in at 8. Which we're really lucky our horses manage to wait till 8, because some people have to go crazy early to feed them, but ours can hang on till 8. So Hoytzy's there, and then Phoebes and Mabel's here. So I've just dropped Hoytzy his breakfast, and I'll tie up his hay net over there in a second. But at the moment, while Hoytzy eats his breakfast and his tea, once over, Mr. JB could share with him. But at the moment, because we were worried about Hoytzy keeping his condition on over the winter, because he's an older boy, he's 21 now, he gets a bit more feed, so it's a bit too much for Mr. JB to share with him, because it's, you know, of higher nutritional value and calorie intake. He's at risk of getting laminitis if he shares it, which is if he has a bit too much sugar or a bit too much nutrient, you know, kind of rich foods. There's a structure in his feet, in his tiny little toes down here, called the laminae, and that structure basically becomes inflamed, or it swells if that happens, and then he gets really, really pottery and really, really footsore, and it's just not very comfortable for him to walk around. So by taking him out each time, so he doesn't want to come out because he knows what he's eating. Come on! He's so stubborn. He does this every morning as well after he's been in stable stage because he doesn't want to come out. Pony, come on. Don't be stubborn. It's not very good for you. Good boy. That's it. So we'll get him out so that he can't get ill. No. Come on. This way. JB. I know it's not fair. It's not fair, but it's... Come on. I know it's not fair because it's not your fault, you're tiny. Pony. Good boy. Yes, see, you'll get in trouble with the big guy. Thank you. So if you'd just like to wait out here, you can have that in on Yeah, you can just wait here and eat that. And I'll be back in a bit to come and hang it up for you. How does that sound? Is that a good plan, mister? Yes. So Jabs is currently just eating the hay net. That'll go in with them as soon as Hoytsy's finished. And to those of you who don't know, here is Stable Stays, which is the brown doors right in front of us. And if we had visitors in here, chances are it will be Hoytsa. And if you're a visitor in here, you're responsible for giving them their morning hay net and their breakfast, which is any time from 5. And checkout is 9. So we'd obviously kind of stop roughly about 8, maybe slightly before. Depends on the day. Oh, the lights are still on. That's not going to be very good for our electricity bill. Better turn those off. So yeah, anyone who stays in here is responsible for the horse overnight. Obviously, we are always on call if necessary. And we'll be around at 9 to come and collect them. So we'd spend just the first hour like normal. Just bob round at 9, get the horse out, and then turn this round as well as part of our morning routine. Turning Stable Stays around, so my mum, she does the human side, so she cleans that, and then we obviously do the stable side. But it's quite challenging to do because we have to ensure that it stays as odour free as possible, which means every day we do it, we have to kind of disinfect it and put down like deodorizing powder, and it just has to be done. Not that we don't do our regular stables thoroughly, but this has to be done to, you know, very, very like high finish, because obviously we've got visitors coming in here, and also it probably goes through more bedding as well, because whereas in our regular stables we try and conserve bedding, in here it's more about just keeping it smell free, so we'll remove more than we would do in our regular stables. Turns out the tree is battery operated, everybody, so there was no add-on effect to our electricity bill. It's safe. Well, not really, because we do go through quite a lot of electric, as we have 16 creatures. A house we rent out on Airbnb, and I'm not quite sure how much we use exactly, and I don't want to know. So coming back up to the barn now, it looks like Miss Mabel's finished because she's got her head over the door, and as is Phoebe's. So they're obviously expecting their morning hay. So at the moment Miss Mabel has hay balls, just because we're trying to get her to lose a bit of weight while she's on rest, as she is rather round. Get in your house. There you go. So that's her morning hay ball, and that'll last her, well, she'll finish it before 12, but she'll get her next one at 12. And then overnight she has a soaked hay net, which is, again, by soaking the hay, you basically take away all the sugar that's in it by soaking it out. So it just helps her lose the tummy, which she really, really needs to do. So she'll stay in this box for the morning, and we'll muck her out around her. And then Sydney, I will just move across next door to her to make it easier to muck him out. So he just gets a little game of musical stables. So sometimes with the ones with abscesses, because obviously when they have an abscess, and then the albino just kind of roams around doing his own thing. When they have an abscess, I'll show you in a second. Good boy, Sid. Hello. He has the poultice on his foot. So sometimes when they have abscesses, if they're not, you know, if they're still fairly mobile, we'll put them out in a turnout with a boot over the top of that, which we ordinarily would do with the likes of Phoebe's, but because Mabel can't be left on her own, we'll just move him across to another stable. Are you gonna come and play musical stables, Ted? Yeah? He is so cuddly, aren't you? It took him a little while to get used to being in. Yeah, well, he's only been in a couple of nights, but you're not normally in, are you? And at first we were a little bit confused, but now I think he quite likes it. Yes, get you moved across the stable and get you your morning hay. So Phoebes is now across in this stable for the day, and as you can see there, he's tucking into his morning hay. So obviously, as you've already gathered, first step of our morning routine is that he gets fed the hard feed, and then we'll let eat in that. We kind of distribute the hay, and then ordinarily after they've eaten their hard feed, if they were sound, what we do is we put them out in either this turnout here or this turnout here, or if they if they can be trusted to do so, you know, the likes of Anya Ranska Doughton, we just let them go free rein around the yard like my pony Prince is at the moment. And obviously we shut those barriers as well. Excuse me, Teddy. So Vives has just knocked off the hose nozzle here, which we've had to bring into the barn because due to it being frosty, otherwise it would freeze. And that is also as well why these two have still got their pajamas on, because sometimes I take them off first thing because it's nice for them, you know, to let their coats breathe underneath it. But because it's a bit chilly, I'll just leave their pajamas on for now. And while I've taken Vives out of his stable to muck it out, my pony Prince has decided to come in here and hoover up the scraps, so thank you very, very much for that. I'll make my way back down to Hoytsy to ensure that he's finished his breakfast to pop the pony back in with him. Yeah, I know Hoyt has finished without having made it down there yet, because I just heard a kick on the gate, which means he's saying, "Where is my morning hay net?" Which is, of course, outside the turnout, being demolished by the little pony. Right, Squabby, you can go. Why have you made such a mess? That is actually disgusting. You know, I leave one tiny pony with a hay net for about 10 minutes, and this is what I come back to. There was just no need. No need whatsoever. But no, you just had to make a mess anyway. Unbelievable. Innit, Hoytsy? So these two have got their morning hay now. And Mr. JB, he's just been allowed back in, so he's just hoovering up the remaining hay that he spilled on the way in here. And searching for scraps as well. And then later on, we'll come and poo pick in here and just sweep off the track in the middle. Course, give Hoytsy his morning scratches on his back leg, which is very, very important. Very important, although I think he's too busy eating to actually enjoy the experience today. Yes. Oh, no. Are we? Yeah, he's too busy. He's too busy eating. Always important as well that in the morning, you know, after they've eaten their hard feed, before you either take them out of the stable to the turnout, or with Hoytsy, you always just come over and say hello to him and see how he's doing and give him a bit of a scratch, because it's always important to make them feel loved and check that they're well in themselves, you know, that they've got that sparkle in their eye, they're happy, and that everything's okay within them. Are you okay, pony? Yeah, the pony's fine. He's got food, therefore he's a very, very happy little person. Bye! And then I'll take out the empty feed bowls and take them up to the barn for the feeding. And there's Bailey, who's on his way to school. Hi, Bailey!
Hello.
Bye!
But there's a lot of people who fall in love with Frisians just because of what they look like.
So, as it's a Monday, we've got Ewan at work experience, so he's mucking out today, which is great because it frees us up to start doing horse stuff a bit earlier in the day. And we've also got a delivery of wood pellets arriving. So our horses are stabled on shavings, and then underneath the shavings we use a base of wood pellets, so which are these things here.
Look, we've got one left.
One. The Holy Grail.
Oh no, because we have the two that Peg bought us.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So the wood pellets, they're basically, well, closing the end, they're literally pellets of wood, and they start out quite hard, so you just sprinkle them below the shavings in the bed, and then they just, as they absorb the water, they go into like a kind of a sawdust. So you can see here some that have escaped out the bag. Underneath my foot you can see as they absorb the water they start to kind of dissolve like that, and they just help absorb the water and make our bedding more efficient than shavings alone. So all of the bedding will come into this barn here, which is below the barn up the top there, and then as well as a pellets delivery this week, we're also getting a shavings delivery, so we'll be all stocked up to get through the rest of winter.
6 big pallets.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a while to unload them all.
Because we well, that was silly. We unload everything by hand. So we'll rope in local farmer Philip to come in because he's got a forklift. So the shavings come in a massive truck. So he'll use the forklift to get the pellets off the truck, leave the pellets outside this barn, and then we'll individually get the shavings from the pallets up and put them in here.
And try not to break our legs. on these pallets.
Yeah, well that's just you.
I know. Well, it's
Nobody
dark.
else does that.
Oh, you wait. I bet you do it now.
Thanks. See, that's actually so horrible, wishing that I do it.
Well, no,
Wishing it on me.
I didn't wish you to do it.
That is
I
horrible.
said I bet you do it.
That is horrible, you know? On Monday morning and you're already wishing that I break my ankles.
Are these yours?
No.
There's so much rubbish in here.
Yeah, does anyone want any? If you want any, like...
No, you can't just... Like,
High-vis.
Tamara doesn't allow things to be thrown away, does she?
No.
Right,
Well, no, not the wood. I mean, if anyone wants high-vis or those disgusting trousers, let us know in the comments below and you give us the postage and we'll post it to you, you know?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but strictly speaking, the high-vis is they belong to the Frisian experience, so we have right of giving them away.
Right, okay.
It's the wood that belongs to Tamara's aspects, so we can't touch that unless we need it for DIY purposes.
Do you think we're going to fit all 6 pallets in here? I think we need to try
Possibly
and keep
not.
them towards that side more than anything, because obviously we need to get to all of this. So perhaps if we can get you to move all of this out.
Yeah, so after Ewan's mucked out, we like to utilise him as best as possible. So we're gonna get him to come down here afterwards and sort out this barn to make more room for the shavings. And you know, all of these buildings here, Tamara is going to be restoring them. So yeah, there's
Personally?
some... Yeah, personally. No, Tamara makes the plans and oversees everything and finds the building equipment. And then she does the interiors. So first things first, there will be the shipping. And then she'll move her way through to the others as we get the magical supply of money.
Find the finances to do it first.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tamara's really good. That's her area of expertise.
She did the
Wonderful many
cottage
areas of
there.
expertise.
So, and then she also did the inside of the house, which we hope to take you a tour of at some point. And now we're going to go and get a few in from the field.
That's one of the first jobs actually to do. When you look at the house, you can see how it all needs painting.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about having a list yesterday because we need to get a whole list together of priorities because there's so much that needs doing here. And it's a case of looking at one project at a time, really.
So we're down at the field now to get a few in because we've got Chris the farrier coming. So there's a few that need their shoes doing, and then there's a few others that will get work today as they're starting to bring them back into fitness. So ordinarily with the morning routine, we've got somebody's friend coming to visit as well. This is Basil. Hello, Basil. With the morning routine, how it would work is if we didn't have Ewan in, I'd crack on with the mucking out until Jodie got in. So Jodie's in at about 10 today because she's got her own sheep and cows back home, to those of you that don't know. So how she fits in her own animals and then coming to do these guys as well is beyond us. So she'll be in later, so I'd muck out and then she'd help me finish when she gets in, and then we'd come and get the horses in. Or Tracy would go down while we were mucking out, but because we've got Ewan today, I'm coming in to get them in now. So that's exciting. And there's Basil with Tracy and Morag, Basil's owner. So yeah, they one of our lovely neighbours. So Basil is met the horses today. He's currently sniffing a stick, and he knows all about them now. So who wants to come in, kids? Who wants to come in? Micah, you can come in because you're having your feet done, as can you, Flops. Yoda, do you want to come in? Spash, you always want to come in, but I might bring your big sister in first. Yes. Yes. So while Tracy and I have been retrieving horses, we've left Ewan to muck out. So he's just mucked out the box that Vives was in last night. And we'd also like to give a shout out to Ewan's nan. So he's just clearing out the hay bar. Sorry?
Said hi, Grandma.
Oh yeah, to your grandma. Cool. So, because at the end of every day, if there's any hay left in the hay bar, if they don't eat it, it goes a bit stale, so we clear that out. So, and then the water bowls, we scrub them out every day and get fresh water in them, just so it doesn't go disgusting. And then there's little Mabel here. So So she'll get done next, and then after we've mucked out the boxes, we generally sweep or use the petrol leaf blower to blow out kind of the remaining bits of shavings in here. You can see on the floor here. Then any wheelbarrows, we just empty out down on the muck trailer there. And then as for the horses' feed bowls that you can see out here, we either wash them out the back here if it's frozen, or out the front here to make sure that they're all ready for another use. And then here we have Annie and Hida who have just come in, so they're just having their legs brushed off. And the beauty of it being frozen as well is that obviously because the mud's frozen, it doesn't stick to their legs and their tail's the same. And then Micah and Yolanda also came in, and I'm going to go and get them a hay net, and they're just going to hang out in the turnout for a bit until Micah has her shoes done and Yolanda does a bit of work. Down here with the boys, we normally get the barn mucked out first and that kind of swept and tidied out, just because that's where the main kind of activities of the day go down, especially if we've got visitors. And then secondary to that, we come and do hoitsy and jabs. So this is just basically just poo picking the weather bit, which is wood chips. Sometimes we break it a bit as well, but as it's frozen, that'll be a bit challenging. And I think because it's quite messy in there at the moment, it's a bit churned up, it'll just need a good harrowing with the quad bike at some point. And then the next step is as well just to kind of, got the petrol leaf blower here, and we'll just use that to kind of blow, trying to point in the camera, blow off the concrete track in the middle, save sweeping. And we use it quite a lot around the yard because it saves an awful lot of time, and in some ways it's more thorough than sweeping because it can get into the corners that a brush can't. But then there's other times where if something's stuck to the ground, then you do need to use a brush to sweep as well. So it's just whatever we need to do to make everywhere as clean and as tidy as possible. So the turnout out here is all done now. Hoitsy's having a little morning sleep. The pony's just moved to go over with him until I was clearing the pathway here. And he's just done a dropping here, and it's so cold that you can actually see the steam coming off it. And then there's the hay net, which should last them through for the rest of the day, and then I'll get another one in the evening. So that's the hay nets all filled. Probably either today or tomorrow. We're going to need to get a new bale for them, as this one is in its last legs. Last kind of official thing to do for the morning routine is just to make the feed. So we've got all the feed in these bins here. Up here, the balancer now, which is a bit low, so I'll top that up. The Ultrakind, the senior balancer, which is the same as that, it's just a bit more calorie dense for Hoitzer. Performance cubes, which we're on in use at the moment because nobody's been doing enough work to need them, and the condition cubes, which again need topping up. And then we've popped this back across just to stop the free reiners going in and stealing all the now full hay nets. So that's now the fields made for the outside horses, so we'll go and drop those off to them in the quad bike later today. And that basically concludes the rough morning routine. The long and short of it is they have their hard feeds. The ones in the stables go out and about for a day, get their morning hay, we muck out, obviously clean out the used feed bowls and the water bowls, refill hay nets, remake the feeds, and then just pull in from the field whoever we need for the day. So yeah, time. So ciao, until next time. Quick side note as well, I will hopefully bring you some more in-depth videos about how we muck out and kind of the why behind the day-to-day care of them.